We are here on iHeartRadio. I'm Shannon Ella here with Max McNown. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Thank you for having me.
We're so happy to have you here. So you are on tour right now. Got to stop in Toronto. I saw you were out doing a little bit of sightseeing maybe this morning or near the venue. Have you had a chance to like get around and?
Just from place to place.
Yeah.
Just seeing parts of the city that we stop at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You like, I feel like you've done so much traveling in the last.
It's been a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we have a great crew and very organized, which is my weak part of my personality is organization.
That's why you've got to have good people around you.
Yes. So we have wonderful people in all of their positions that do their job incredibly well. And so it makes my life super easy. So travel's not as bad. But we did go to Australia for one show because I had an offer to do the first headline festival of my life. And it was 72 hours round trip. And we were in Australia for 40 hours. So that was too much. No amount of organization was enough for that one. But yeah, it's a gift to be able to do this. So,
probably won't get to do that again.
Yeah. Get to is a strong. Won't have to do that again. Yeah.
That's crazy. What has been like of all the places that you've been to? Was there one that was kind of on your outside of music bucket list trip that you were like, hey, I got to do this now?
Absolutely. I love that question. When I was in all my life. My favorite movies have been The Lord of the Rings. They're, my favorites. I remember the first time I ever watched them, I was supposed to be going to bed. I must have been, 10 years old, maybe even younger.
Yep.
And it was, 9 p.m. or something. It was way past my bedtime. And my grandfather was watching the first Lord of the Rings with my oldest brother, JJ. And my mom was, Max, go to bed. And I wanted to watch so bad. I wanted to be part of the watching party.
The crew.
And my grandpa was like, you know what? How about he sleeps in this room? And he like winked at me and he's like, we lay out a sleeping bag and some blankets and he can go to bed.
We love
that was
Grandpa.
The first time. Yeah, the best memory for the first time. And so ever since that moment, on every school icebreaker project, anytime it was like, where do you want to go? I said New Zealand because New Zealand is where The Lord of the Rings was filmed.
Yeah.
And I finally was able to do that. Separate from that crazy Australia trip we did New Zealand, Auckland, New Zealand. We started there. And then we played about 8 shows through Australia. And that New Zealand trip was a lifetime bucket list item. And so music has taken me there. And I got to visit the set and everything. And it was cool. Just the best
I
memory.
love Lord of the Rings. What's your favorite movie of the series?
I group all of them into one, so it's tough. I think it's definitely a close tie between Two Towers and Return of the King.
Two Towers is my fave for sure. Yeah. So in this musical journey, you've also gained a lot of friends and collaborators and stuff. Talk to me about the friendship between Cameron Whitcomb, you, and Avery Anna, because that trio just seems like a lot of fun.
It's a bad news bears out there. Cam Whitcomb. I'm stealing this from somebody that commented it, but I've coined it now for the rest of my interviews that I do. Cameron is same person, different font. So we are alike. We are alike on a deeper level and could not be more different on the outside. And even with decisions and music, it's just all very different. Avery Anna is kind of I see her as a female version of myself. She is incredible. Very alike to me, sings very meaningful songs, and incredible writer, incredible vocalist. One of, if not my favorite vocalist talent that I've ever been able to work with. Those kind of came about. Cameron, I joined a TikTok live and he was singing Tyler Childers way back, and I was doing that when I was street performing. Cool. And so I saw him singing Lady May, and I was like, oh, I sing that too. And he's like, dude, I've seen your stuff. I love it. I was commenting, and he was texting back, and he's like, just DM me on Instagram. And so I DM'd him on Instagram, and he was the first real friend that I made in the industry. No way. We go back to the beginning of my career. And then he is very open about his battle with drug addiction. And my song Night Diving was circled around my experience with addiction. And so I just told him, I said, it just feels like this song has your name on it, and I'd be honored for you to be on it. And it was that simple. Just sent him a text, and he said he'd love to, and the rest was history. Avery Anna, I heard her harmonizing with Sam Barber.
So good.
And obviously just an incredible song, Indigo.
Yeah.
And I reached out to her on Instagram, and my management reached out to her management, and we had this revisited version, this kind of revamped, turned into Missing You from my Wandering album. And we just felt like our voices would go well together, and
They do.
There it is again. The rest is history. Yeah, thank you.
They do. That's so cool. And that's got to be one of like the best things about this industry is that, you know, you look at musicians on social media and you see them collaborating and releasing music all the time, but you guys actually do become friends and support each other through this crazy roller coaster that you're all on.
Yeah, and that last part specifically, it's hard to relate to if you don't, you know, whatever you do in life, it's good to have people that understand from a very factual standpoint what your life is like, because there's a lot of similarities between artists. Life on the road, building a band around you, a crew, writing from the heart, not getting lost in all the craziness that is bound to come. And so, yeah, it's I've always looked forward to that. That's one of the reasons festivals have been one of my most look forward to events in the industry, because I get to just meet other artists and pick their brains and ask them about their experience. I mean, for example, just Russell Dickerson. I just said hi to him, and like I've known his music for years, and so it's one of the most pleasant things about it is when you meet them in person. A lot of the time, in my experience, they're just so down to earth. Like we're all people. And you kind of, even I forget that, you know, set aside like fans that kind of sometimes see you as something other than human. I even fall into that when I see people on social media and I see them on a screen all the time. And even with Cameron, when I went into the TikTok, I wasn't expecting him to even notice me. And then he just, you know, comments back and the friendship is born. So
it's so cool.
It's beautiful. Yeah.
It is like, that is truly one of the best positive things about the era that we're in with social media is the connection that you can make and find a collaborator or co-writer, just truly of being a fan and respecting what they do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who has been kind of someone that you've turned to, that you've been able to meet, that has kind of been a advice giver, that you've kind of taken note of things that they're doing and in putting it into your world?
So I haven't had the pleasure of meeting him yet, but Noah Kahan is one of my greatest inspirations lyrically, and the way he carries himself, his humility, his gratitude for the people that support him, the way he handles his relationship, really important to me. And so I've looked up to him for my entire career, even before it got started. I would say someone I have met is not necessarily a celebrity, but my producer Jamie Kinney has been a leader for me and has helped me grow in my art and grow into the confidence to say what I want to say and what I feel I need to say, whether that be for me or for the people that listen to my music.
Yeah. And that's like, it's so important to have those people behind the doors with you, like that are kind of helping you shape this music that you're putting out. Do you have like a safe space that when you're writing, you tend to write in that area of your life? Like, do you go on vacation? Do you have a writer's room that you like to be in when you're being creative?
Just by happenstance, just because I've written so much in it. I love Jamie's studio. Jamie Kinney's studio is wonderful. It's kind of a home away from home because I've spent so much time and written so many gut-wrenching songs in there. So I'd say that, but also my writing comes from my everyday life.
Experiences.
I kind of, I like to say that I'm always writing. So my notes page is the most eclectic pile of insanity that you've seen, but it'll be a single word that makes no sense out of context. It'll be, a piece of poetry. It'll be a verse and a chorus. It'll be a melody on a voice memo that I throw into the notes page. So I'm always writing it because you never know when inspiration will hit you. And sometimes it takes seeing something in your everyday life to spark that conscious songwriting side of you. Like I find myself just going about my day as I normally would. I don't sit down and think, I want to think of a concept. Right. It just happens. You know, like we were at an airport flying to an event we were playing in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and it was for the American Cancer Society, and it was a wonderful event. And at the airport on the way out, I saw this couple embracing one another and saying goodbye, and they were just both tears in their eyes. And it was sad at first, and then I'm like, it's also a gift to have that kind of love that you when you say goodbye, it's that deep and emotional. It's a privilege. And so just pops into my head the beauty of goodbyes. And I want to write a song about the beauty of, or the beauty in goodbye.
I can't wait to hear
that.
Yeah,
yeah. So you most likely will. It's in my notes page, and
Yay.
I can't wait to write that one.
Cool. That's awesome. What if you could go back to young Max first starting out with the music dream? Would you want to tell him anything? Would you want to give him any advice? Or do you feel like you ended up exactly where you are?
I think it's a bit of both. I
Okay.
think providence is real. I think God's got a plan, and everything happens for a reason.
I have it tattooed on my foot.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. One of my grandpa, I put his voice into one of my songs called Hindsight and
Yep.
Photographs, and he always told me that providence is the hand of God and the glove of circumstance. So you put yourself into circumstances, you make good decisions. It's not out. We have free will, but there's a guiding hand in it all. And I think that's been true in my own life. And I've just kind of watched it unfold. It's just such a blessing to see all of the reward for what we've been doing. But I would also say just the primary thing to tell my younger self, and this would probably be before music, before I was getting into it, is my value doesn't come from what other people think. And that was really hard for me. I wanted to be self-confident, and I wanted to be, my own person, but in the world we live in, whether, blame it on social media, blame it on just the natural evolution of our time, it's difficult to be unique and stay strong in that. And I had terrible self-image, terrible self-confidence in high school, and it was really difficult for me. So if I could go back, I would want to go back to high school Max and tell him that he's loved for more than what other people think.
Yeah, which, our high school selves, we were hard on ourselves back then. Yeah, that would probably be the time I'd want to go back to. Last thing before we go, the album is so good, and obviously fans from all over the world are loving it. Has there been a moment for you on stage where it's kind of caught you that maybe you've gotten a little emotional just realizing the impact that your music has had on so many people?
I get emotional almost every single night on stage because we put my grandfather's voice in the show. And so during that moment, I just kind of kneel down and just close my eyes and try to listen, and just listen to the words he's saying, listen to his voice, because that's not going to last forever. The voice, the song will, but he won't. And that just destroys me each time, but it's so powerful. I think specific memories, I like to tell this story because it's very fresh on this tour. I was in Sandy, Utah, and we were playing an amphitheater there. And I went out for my encore. I snuck out the side of the stage, side of the venue, went to this concrete platform in the center of the crowd, and I was preparing to start singing A Lot More Free, which was the song that kind of broke me into the music world, really. And there was this girl, she had to have been, 11 years old, maybe younger. And she had this big cowboy hat on that was way too big for her. And a lot of people were thinking the show was over, walking past me. And I was just like, I wanted to high five some of them. Yeah, as I go by. But she saw me, and it was like she'd seen a ghost. Like the surprise on her face was insane. And just tears just started flowing down her face. And I just kind of put my arm out. And she just jumped into me and just gave me the biggest bear hug. Aww. And her hat tipped up. Yeah, her hat tipped up and started like falling to the side, and she just cried, and I was just like caught off guard for a second, then I just breathed, and I felt like this is the whole reason I do this. This interaction right here is symbolic of the entire reason I'm in music. So I just took a second. I took maybe 30 seconds where I just looked around at everybody around me and people looking at me and cheering, and it's that blew me away, and I will never forget that moment. And
she probably never will either.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, she never will either. That's so cool. Well, congratulations on everything.
Thank you.
I'm so glad. I've been playing your music on Pure Country for a while, so I'm really glad we get to play it all the time now.
Yeah. I heard Better Me For You just hit. Yeah. All right.
I know. I just keep sneaking it on the weekends. I'm like, come on, guys. But
I love it.
It's so cool. I love that your music, it really transcends genres, and like it truly is music for everyone, like even a young girl with a cowboy hat on, just loving your music. So we are so excited. Can't wait to have you back in Canada.
Thank you.
Max McNown on iHeartRadio.